Welcome back to the Museum Roadshow. Today we're going to be taking a look at some of the old blueprints of the old part of the hospital that will be torn down. And we're also going to be sharing some of the memories of the employees that used to work in that building.
We're reminiscing today about the 1929 and 1939 buildings, and we're sort of celebrating their existence because they are going to be coming down. Probably about the middle of May, they're going to be coming down. We're going to be making way for a brand new clinic.
It was kind of beat up. This was the old wing that I came here. This was kind of beat up. I think we both remember sleeping here overnight when you were on call. I think it was on the second floor, wasn't it, Mark?
No, it was on first floor.
First floor?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's long. That was before they had more hospital in these two units. The office, the business office, was right at the head of the stairs when you walked in the hospital. And heaven help you if you hadn't paid your bill. But the bills weren't that high to begin with. I mean, we're not talking about thousands of dollars. $7 for a room rate?
The front door was on the east side, and you went up the stairway onto the first floor. Then you went up a stairway which turned and came up here. And at the end, that bend in the stairwell was a little, I think probably it was made for a sunroom, but it had been turned into like a pediatric room.
In 1929, when this was built, that would have been the main entrance to the facility.
So this side of the building, though, still looks like this with the brick and everything, except this entrance is not there. We thought this was interesting. There's an apparatus room. We don't know what that was. This would be fun to know.
This would have, this was the base, or would have been the basement elevation, like I said, the in-house laundry. And kind of funny too, the size of a kitchen is probably not much bigger than a residential kitchen, but it was not a real big hospital. And right, and here on the what was called the first floor is what they called future elevator.
I don't know if you can zoom in on that, but
foresight, and maybe that original $30,000 that the elevator wasn't in the budget.
Yeah,
but
probably.
they knew they wanted one.
Right.
Okay,
this is the ground floor.
This would have been the ground floor or the new ground floor in 1939 project, and it appears that the kitchen was still in the 29 building. There was a sister's dining room and a storeroom, and it looks like these were still probably. Oh, there was a therapy. Look at that. To imagine, I mean.
Wow.
Yeah. Right in that space.
Compared to what it is today.
A therapy of what it is, and it looks like there were some there were some wards also there in the corner.
This looks like a 4-bed ward here.
Then we get up to the second floor of the facility, and I've got to get back here. Yeah, that this would have been, because they went ground, they called it ground, and then the second level, and it looks like it mainly was patient rooms. It looks like I see beds and quite a few.
This is kind of interesting here. We were talking about this. We were looking at the plans earlier. There's like a porch.
Yeah, and it must have been a wood porch out in front of the building, because it says it had a wood floor there.
And here's another porch over here too.
A porch over here.
There was a day, and I don't know what the years would have been, but back in the day with tuberculosis, they used to have sunrooms or solariums, or maybe that is what these were designed to be.
And I believe this is the building tour earlier of the 39 that we were in, this bathroom. It appears that pretty much stayed intact, that it was a private room. You entered like we did off the corridor, and that it was a shared toilet between a couple of private rooms there, which probably was a kind of a luxury to have a bathroom in the room, because I believe there was more of a central toilet facility now, and that's something I guess we've gone away from for quite a few years, that they either have a semi-private or a private room now.
Right, right. Yeah, there were wards where you had to come out to the hallway to use the bathroom. But this bathroom that we looked at earlier, the original bathtub is in there. The original sink, it looks like.
Yeah, I would think.
And an original light fixture. The only thing that isn't in there now is the toilet.
Maybe that finally came out.
Yeah.
But then it looks like at this period of time, that they stepped up to 2 operating rooms too. It looks like there was an operating room in each corner in that area.
Yep, looks like this was a suite.
And a surgeon's room.
Yeah,
So.
a surgery suite.
And a shared toilet. So there's been a lot of change over the years. It is unfortunate, I mean, to think, you know, these buildings have served Detroit Lakes very well, or the campus and things, but it's just now with healthcare evolving and changing so quick that when they built these buildings in, for example, 1929, there's just no room above the ceilings to add the ventilation and to do the work. That in a lot of your modern buildings, there's almost another story above a ceiling that we just don't see above there. So it just they have served the community well, and I guess it's time for them to be replaced for something better.
Yep. In comparison, some of these old patient rooms that are behind us had 1 electrical outlet, and now it would never work. So
a dozen or more.
A dozen or more in every room. So. Yeah.
Yep. And they're very well built old buildings. And unfortunately, when you try to add those features inside, the room gets smaller and smaller because you can't put these things in the walls because the walls are solid masonry in most cases,
right.
And they just don't remodel real well.
No.
So and you can see that there's been a lot of challenges, and the building has evolved, and they brought in a few more things in every one and tried, and you can see where they piped in oxygen and things like that over the years, but it's just now a lot of those things are done all above the ceiling and don't take up from the patient care environment. So. Right.
We haven't been able to serve patients in these 2 buildings for about the last 5 years because of some of the reasons we just talked about. So it's really been offices and administrative type support functions. Right.
The other hospital
right.
functions.
Right.
I can't believe all the changes in this hospital, but we're so fortunate to have it in a town our size.
I think for the time, the hospital was very efficient for what was needed.